What's up, boys? I know we all saw that Time magazine put out their Person of the Year, or in this case, Persons of the Year. Yeah, I didn't know Time was very woke like that. Very woke of you, Time magazine. I'm proud of you. But yeah, I'm sure we all saw the cover by now. It's a bunch of people that helped develop AI or push AI to have new ground, new boundaries, I guess, this year. And they called them the, again, architecture of AI. Now, boys, I think that's really stupid for a couple of reasons. Reason number one is that they didn't actually make it. They have engineers and developers help them make it or make it for them while they provide the funding. Hell, at this point, I mean, we might as well give the Time Person of the Year to the US government instead, since they funded everything for AI this year. Except we did that last year and it really didn't work out too well now. And the second reason is because they didn't actually make AI. They didn't create it. They didn't actually make these sizable steps from program to actual AI potentially. They just carried off the backs of what was already made. I mean, if we want to be honest and accurate with ourselves, let's go back to the fucking Akinator. Go back to Akinator and Jinnybot or Sambot, whatever they were. And trust me, I would much rather Akinator win this award than any of those cringe fucking losers on that lunch upon a skyscraper fake or remake, I guess it is. I mean, it's stupid and it's ugly, and who wants to see that photo every day with Elon Musk on it and then Sam Altman? No one wants to see that. Now, I guess the least surprising person up there is probably Mark Zuckerberg, because when it comes to climbing things, lizards are usually adept at climbing really well. But this is not gonna be a usual video where someone would be like, oh, well, AI shouldn't have won, or look at all these freaks on these steel beams, they shouldn't have won anything. No, instead, this video is gonna be a nice little interesting concept where I go over every person on the beam and talk about their form of corruption or legal troubles they've ever gotten into and see if we have any interesting cases on our hands. And trust me, none of these people have gone unscathed. They all have a little bit of dirt on them. We're gonna go over that. Now, on that steel beam from left to right, we have Mark Zuckerberg, Lisa Su, Elon Musk, Jensen Huang, Sam Altman, Dimas Hassabis, Dario Armode, Fei Li. Some of those are really recognizable names, even if you don't follow AI like that. You have like Zuckerberg, you have Elon Musk, you have Sam Altman, and some of them I just haven't heard before, like Anthropic. Never heard of it. Sorry, Dario Armode, I've just never heard of you, and honestly, I'd rather keep it that way. But let's go over all their controversies now and see if they really are as bad as we all know they are. Mark Zuckerberg is certainly no slouch when it comes to legal issues, whether it be about the Cambridge Analytica scandal or his shareholder lawsuit about data privacy and protection, or his antitrust lawsuit that the FTC brought up against him because apparently Meta was becoming a monopoly. Or you could talk about how Meta knowingly was making teens' mental health worse by showing them more negative stuff in the algorithm, and then Mark Zuckerberg declining to actually fix that. But in my opinion, his worst crime is still getting dunked on so hard by Andrew Garfield in The Social Network, because holy shit, he made him look so bad in that movie.
Yes. How about now? You're still wired in?
Oh, and Mark Zuckerberg also paid $1 million to Donald Trump's inauguration fund and settled a $25 million lawsuit that Trump had filed against him for defamation. Oh, you thought I mean he was defaming their character? No, he just got banned on Facebook, and Trump was not happy about that. And if you didn't know, Meta was going to win the case. They just decided to pay Trump out anyways. Not a very good look for you, Killer Croc. How are you going to recover from that? Now, Lisa Su hasn't actually done anything really bad, per se. She's actually done a very good job at AMD, making them a more successful and profitable company. The one things I can say that she did bad is she recently came out saying that the AI bubble is not as bad as we'd like to say it is, and it's overblown. And she makes worse graphics cards than NVIDIA, and that should be a crime. But hey, AMD, if you give me a 9850 X3D and make RAM prices below $200, I'll remove this segment from the video entirely. You can count on that. Elon Musk. Where do we even start with this guy? Being a Nazi, being a racist, being a pedophile? Allegedly, on that last one though, because apparently he only hangs out with them and he may not actually be a pedophile, though his time spent with Ghislaine Maxwell doesn't really help his case. But I mean, come on, we all remember the famous heart salute at the inauguration. We all remember that. It was not even a year ago, if you can believe that, because it also inspired a bunch of other politicians to do the same thing as well. Oh, and I said politician for a reason, because for about, I don't know, 5 months, he was in the political sphere and the political specter of Doge, as they called it. And why was he there exactly? No one knows. I mean, I don't know. Doge just shut down, so it's like, why was he there? I mean, the US government added $3 trillion to the debt this year, so what was he doing at Doge the entire time? Jerking it off and coming into cups and vials again so we can have another IVF with another woman? If his rampant drug abuse and Cybertruck-like build was enough to tell you that he couldn't get a woman pregnant on his own, well, I don't know what other proof you might need. Oh, and he's like very racist. Like all over Twitter, he is super racist. It is not even a question. For a man that could be considered an illegal immigrant at any point of his given time here, he is certainly bold talking about other immigrants here. Did I mention that he's also probably a pedophile too? And out of all of his 14 kids, yeah, I said 14 by the way, out of all of his 14 kids, only one of them still talks to him, and that's because he's not old enough to know that his father is a piece of shit. Oh, and we haven't even talked about the countless number of lawsuits that he has gotten in the past even 10 years, whether it be fraud cases or multiple workplace discrimination cases at both Tesla and Twitter, or it be his 8, yes, 8 sexual harassment lawsuits that he had to pay out all of. And I'm not even going to go into his other business fraud allegations because I could be sitting here all night explaining every single problem he's had with every one of his businesses. Listen, Elon, having Asperger's doesn't give you an automatic excuse to be a racist and a pedophile. But the worst thing that he has done is that when you've taken that many drugs to the point where you can't even pee properly, most people will lose weight. But you somehow managed to gain weight. I mean, he is the first case of reverse Ozempic, so shit, maybe he'll use Grok to find out the answer to really lose weight. Or maybe he'll use Grok to become Mecha Hitler again and try to overthrow Twitter. Who knows? Jensen Huang. Now, as many times as you want to tell us that NVIDIA is not Enron, you're not going to convince us anymore. Then the AI bubble isn't going to pop and kill everyone, basically. In a metaphorical way, of course, but Jensen Huang has basically set up NVIDIA to be the top dog of every market in the world and propping themselves up with fake numbers and reinvestments into companies that will reinvest back into them. Now, back in my day, we called those Ponzi schemes or even pyramid schemes, but now I guess we call that good marketing. A man who also yells at his managers for not wanting to use AI in everything they possibly do. Does he just want to like kill us all or something? I can't get a read of this guy. Oh, he also said that state-by-state AI regulation would drag the industry to a halt. He does just want to kill us all, doesn't he? Apparently he's a douche and uses Nepotism Plus for his kids to get high-paying positions in NVIDIA. Outside of that though, he hasn't really done too many bad things, I guess. Oh, he did also donate money to the ballroom instead of the East Wing now. That is not going to be built, by the way, because apparently no one wants to build it. Or the more likely story is that Trump once again didn't pay contractors and didn't pay construction workers or anyone like that, and now they don't want to build it anymore. I mean, it's not the first time he's done it. We shouldn't imagine it would be any different now he's the president again. Sam Altman's like the type of guy to touch his sister inappropriately when she's 3 years old and continue to do so until she's in her teens, and he is now willing to astute paying the Trump administration
Here's
whatever
a
money they ask for.
You'll want to read that.
Now, when it comes to OpenAI, whether it's those psychological abuse allegations, the non-disparagement agreements, or the ousting of his own company, and then reinstatement, it doesn't really get any worse for Sam Altman than this. Actually, apparently it does, because a couple of kids by now have already used ChatGPT to help them commit game over. But we'll just call it the dumb ways to AI, because I think that's the most appropriate thing to name it. But the absolute funniest thing happened when Elon Musk decided he would sue Sam Altman. So it's really the two worst people you know are finally fighting. But I have nothing really funny to say about Sam Altman now. I genuinely think he's a slimy and sick fuck. I actually think he should be thrown under the jail and have another jail thrown on top of it. Actually, we could drop the AI bubble on top of him and use his head as a pin to pop it. What's the old saying after all? Captain goes down with the ship? Time for you to go down with the ship now, Sam Altman. Demis Hassabis is another interesting fella because I've never heard of him either. But unlike Lisa Su, he runs DeepMind at Google, and no one's ever heard of that before. But no, if you're curious, DeepMind actually does a lot of research into medicines, into diseases, and to solving equations. Or you would think that's all they're doing until you look just a little deeper and realize that they've also had 1.5 million breaches of NHS patient data records. All just to test a simple little app. Also, their data sharing apparently breaks UK laws multiple times, and they got sued for it. Oh, and we can't forget Hassabis' personal mess up about a workplace misconduct allegation. A lot of these companies have this type of problem. It's kind of crazy. But Demis Hassabis is somewhat of a philanthropist when it comes to worrying about AI potentially taking over human life. But that doesn't really matter when you constantly have to take other people's private information to study them and find answers for things. You can't complain about something then actually do it, you hypocrite. It's not how that works. Now, Demis, I would venture to say that you are irrelevant, but to be irrelevant, you needed to be relevant at any point. And again, I don't think anyone's heard of you, man. No offense, but I think it's time to start talking a little more. How about that? Show us some of those skeletons you really might have. Now, Dario Modi, when I started this video, I was convinced that everyone on this video would be a piece of shit. But if one of the people on this list had to be considered the most woke or even the most progressive thinking, it would be you. Dario regularly talks about how AI needs to be regulated and also how it's going to take a lot of entry-level jobs away. And I know, stating the obvious might come as a shocker to you, but apparently that makes you the most progressive out of the bunch. And that's basically where all the positive for this guy ends, because he immediately goes back and says, I'm not a wokester. A wokester? What the fuck is that? Can you not be like a normal person and just speak like a human? He's going out and engaged with authoritarian regimes trying to find free space and cheap land to put more AI data centers in many regions where they already have a lot of poor human rights records, and that's not a very good thing, right? And by standard, opening up an AI data center is already going to put you on the net negative list, but then doing it in a region of poor human rights is going to put you on a dog shit list too. Now, as much as he'd like to deny he's not the wokester baby, I mean, we can't really deny that he's still a piece of shit. And finally, last and definitely least, Fei-Fei Li. Fei-Fei Li, where the fuck does she work? Well, now she's a Stanford professor, but she used to be a Google director for the AI initiative. And that's where a lot of her controversies come from. The biggest controversy, and potentially the largest AI-based controversy of anyone on the list, comes back when she was Google's AI chief scientist with Project Maven. What's Project Maven? Project Maven basically was a partnership between Google and the Pentagon to use Google's AI for surveillance. Drone surveillance, to be more specific. Yeah, I guess it turned out that Google really was spying on us all along. Who would have guessed? This actually led to a big employee protest, which eventually made Google scrap the project, but the fact this even started to happen, kind of scary. Oh, and in the fallout of all this, she had some emails leaked which basically showed her telling her colleagues to not mention AI when it comes to Project Maven, because it would be like red meat to the media. Oh, she was also more focused on the public image of Google and their AI at the time, rather than the ethics of using AI in the military. Well, nowadays you hear AI in the military and you say, oh, I guess it's just another Tuesday then. And that usually comes right before they send a drone strike down to your house to blow you up because you didn't exactly agree on the politics. Then apparently she 180'd her position on AI, trying to make a human-centric AI, and talked about ethics of AI. You're not fooling anyone, dude. We know what you are. Oh, and she was also accused of plagiarism at some point too, but I don't know anything about that. But if you needed anything to really tell you how bad of a person she is, back in 2020, she was added to the board of Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. So yeah, if you really want to know how bad she was, she worked for Twitter. Keep that in mind. Now, did I just spend the past, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes talking about how bad these people really are? Yeah, I did. And it should be known that there are a lot more things we just don't know about these people either. Everything I said about these people are things that you can find publicly. There are a lot of things that they don't want to expose that are definitely out there. And trust me, none of it's good either. So just keep that in mind before you try to suck off any one of these tech billionaires or these tech gurus. I'm talking about you Elon Musk freaks. You gotta stop it. His dick's already microscopic. You can't suck any more than you tried to. And hey, who's to say? Maybe in 2026 we have Glup Shido as our person of the year and break all expectations. To be honest though, I think it would make a little too much sense if we have Glup Shido as the Time Person of the Year, because they would deserve it infinitely more than anyone like Elon Musk or Donald Trump would ever have deserved it. So what's the moral of this video after however many minutes of rambling and ranting I went on? Is that you guys don't hate these AI CEOs enough and we need to hate them more. The alternative is we die for a few extra dollars in their pockets, or that RAM prices reach $2,000 before 2026 even begins. Either way, I hope this video was somewhat informative to you, or you had a laugh or two at the video. And if you enjoyed the video or laughed at the video at any point, go ahead and subscribe down below for me. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before February, and I would appreciate it if you guys joined along the way. Anyways, boys, I'm out. Peace.